make sure he's dead. Yeah, he's dead, all right. You don't want to find him getting back up is the problem. So you got to make sure. You don't want him coming back as a zombie either. So now we know. All right. Well, let's go show this to his friend. Hey, you. I love VR. I swear to God. Okay, we are playing Blade and Sorcery. For me, this is the second time I am trying to play this game in the new update. I tried it a little bit with the index controllers, the knuckles, and had a very poor time. I don't know if that is due to my controller specifically or a problem with the index controllers in general with this game. Though I imagine if everyone in the world isn't complaining about this that has knuckles, then it might just be my controllers particularly, which is great because, you know, they're like $300 and that's awesome. Hopefully they're broken. But in playing with the index controllers, it is an incredibly frustrating experience playing this game. Having my hands completely open so that the controllers are just strapped to my stretched wide open hands. Any movement past my hips at all with the hand, whether open or closed, completely open hands painfully as far as I can get them open just to test that it was happening, and I could watch things being equipped and unequipped on my belt without actually grabbing them. And so what that would mean is that motion is a nice stab motion, and certainly a motion that happens a lot in a game like this. So I would find that I was getting out of battle, reaching for a health potion or a dagger or whatever, and finding that it's not there. I was also noticing that I would just drop weapons all the time. So, you know, there was a part of it that I thought might be something they've added to gameplay or may have been there to begin with, but it also could be just a problem with my index controllers. It seemed like weapons were getting stuck in things like that, which is actually kind of cool. And so if I let that go, it's stuck in there, and if I try to pick it up, it's a little hard to get out, which is pretty cool in theory. If that is part of the gameplay, that's cool in theory. I was finding it happening a lot with axes. I would hit someone in the head with an axe, and the axe would stick in their head, and it wouldn't be in my hand. But since this isn't real life, and I can't feel the resistance as I pull out of their head, and I can't feel that, and I can't feel it slip out of my hand, what ends up happening in the thick of the game and all the action that's going on is that you don't realize that you don't have a weapon in your hand, and you're just swinging, and you realize you just have empty hands. So I'd spent a lot of, 40% of the time in the game just punching enemies to death. I have a handful of problems with this game in general. I haven't been a big fan of it, but I don't want to use too much negative language and say that it's like, oh, it's not a good game. There aren't very many VR games that are given this much attention and love to begin with. And this certainly, has a way to go, but the developers seem to be very interested in turning it into a better game. So I don't want to use a lot of negative language, but ultimately for me, in terms of these kinds of games, these sword fighting games, this is probably one of my least favorite. Though I think at the time of recording this, I probably have about 30 hours into it. I think that kind of also speaks to the fact that there just aren't a ton of games, top quality games for PC VR. Not to say that there aren't. I also can't. I'm now doing this using Vive wands, and for the life of me, and I imagine it's supposed to be that button, I'm clicking the left trackpad in because nothing's happening when I do that. Or if I do that here, clicking the right trackpad in, I slow down time. This is the only one that's not being used. I could probably set a custom binding, but I just kind of want to get through this. But it seems like I'm stuck to 45% turn instead of smooth turning. very frustrating. Every combination of whatever I hit doesn't seem to want to do anything for me. Yeah. Am I trapped in some kind of crouch now? No. Oh, that is really going to frustrate me, being stuck in 45-degree snap turn. That is really irritating. Yeah. I'm holding down the trigger, the controller, left controller, and he's just snap turning. So, yeah, one of the things that was frustrating me with this game through my time playing it, and I was hopeful to see being updated with this new update, was how the AI behaves. Which unfortunately... Nice, tricorn hat still here. Which unfortunately doesn't seem to have gotten... That's hilarious, and it still removes my hair. It doesn't seem to have gotten any better. And so what I mean by that is that the AI in this is, I don't know. First of all, I know nothing about sword fighting, and I don't care to learn. Just in terms of being immersed in the game and having fun with the game, the AI, from my perspective, feels really dumb and slow. Their movements get really telegraphed. Their overall interaction with the player is very slow and just, I don't know. There's no really better way for me to say it. It's just like slow and telegraphed. And so even with this new update, I was finding that I'm, going into the dungeon that they now have and finding somebody like sitting on a bench, and I can walk right, if they were them, this is them sitting on the bench and they're looking over there, I can just walk up to them right here. They don't see me. I stab them in the chest with a dagger and they go, "Ugh, you shouldn't be here." And then they slowly get up and raise a hand really slowly behind them. And so much of this game before and now for me still is, okay, here comes the hit, step back, stay out of the way, step in, stab in the throat, they're dead. So, I'm not finding myself having to try new approaches or use different weapons. There is the fully armored enemies do present a challenge in that there aren't a lot of places to hit them. And one of the cool things about this game is that the armor is modeled realistically, I guess, in that if you can see a hole in the armor, you could grab somebody by the head and stab in between their armor, or grab them by the arm and stab in between the armor. But there still are strangely unrealistic things there, which I'm sure are very complex things to develop in a game, but still just, the way they are now just feels odd. So, I can grab somebody by the arm and stab them 3 times in the elbow and they die. It'd be nice, I don't know how that gets implemented, but some closer representation of what might happen, of adrenaline taking over, them not being able to perhaps use that arm, but not to say that it's not a fatal wound, but ultimately, I can't have any of that stuff. Ultimately, they could continue fighting for a short time. So yeah, not to focus so much on the negative, and one of the reasons I'm staying here before heading out is this game has a lot of promise. I'm way more interested in immersive and progressive games in VR, games that track progression, than I am in any arena fighter shooter, any of that stuff. So, in that regard, the developer has been pretty consistent in indicating that that's kind of where they're heading. They want a progression system. They want, dungeons and leveling up and collecting gear and loot. It seems, I don't spend a ton of time on their forums, but every once in a while when I check in, it seems like that's where they want to take this game. And they have been introducing updates, so that does seem interesting. Up to this point, it's, from my perspective, it seems like this game is incredibly popular because they also pretty heavily support modding, it seems. But I'm also not interested in that. I don't want to play an arena fighter game in general. I still own a few of them because, there aren't very many top quality games in VR, so I pretty much own all of the top rated games on Steam for PC VR. But I don't really have much interest in playing in a high-rise apartment in a city with lightsabers. It just, I don't know, it doesn't really appeal to me. But this is a complete overhaul of where you start, and it has me still further wondering where they're going to take this. And maybe some of these answers already exist in forums and in the Steam discussion pages, but I don't frequent them too often. But, I come in here and I see that I can pick up this, or I guess I could pick this up. I can move this. I was able to more easily move this stuff with the knuckles. I guess with the index controllers, I'm bound to just my, telekinesis magic. Oh, no, there we go. He picked it up. With the knuckles, I could just actually grab it directly, more easily. But, why? Why wouldn't that just be permanently planted where it is? Because ultimately, I'm just going to... God, that snap turn is really irritating me. I'm just going to go here, and pick where I want to go and where I want to fight. So I'm wondering, is this going to become a hub? Will I have, a room for trophies and, I go out and defeat bosses and bandits and whatever, and I collect suits of armor and display them, or trophies, or whatever else. There's a sleeping bag here for some reason that you grab by the handle, so they took the time to do that particular. This isn't just like a rock, the way rocks work, or the way probably this works. How am I gonna grab this? Yeah, I'm not even gonna grab this. So this works kind of like a rock does. It moves like there's animals in there. Weird. But this I grab. So they took the time to model that, grabbing this little rope handle. And will there be a backpack that you put a sleeping bag onto and you camp when you're out? I don't know, but I'd be very interested in that. And this also looks so much better than it has. It's just looking better each time. There still are a lot of little things, you can see seams everywhere in this game. Just all over the place. They're just everywhere. Whoops. That's gonna... Yeah. Pointing is also just automatically grabbing things, unlike the index, where there's a difference between your point and your actual grab. I'm on the Vive wands. But we're giving this a second shot with the Vive wands because the index controllers were so frustrating. But like I said, that could just be my controllers. I also cannot play the game Stride at all with my index controllers. It just does not turn. I'd only be able to physically turn, which is not ideal because I am tethered to my PC. So with that, I don't know how long I'm going to play this, but I did want to give it another shot with the Vive wands, and I am testing out recording things to ultimately upload somewhere, I guess. I don't know. At the time of recording this, I haven't really thought any of that out, so I don't know what form this will take or if this will just sit on my computer, but I am testing out recording VR, so we'll start with this. Ultimately, if this does get uploaded, who knows in what order, I'll probably end up playing Hellsplit all the way through. I think I have maybe 20 or 30 hours here. I probably have 50 or 60 in Hellsplit. That game, to me, is fantastic. Again, not speaking to whether the sword fighting itself is real or the enemy tactics are real. The animations are fluid and really interesting to me. The world itself is so incredibly well rendered, so beautiful, that it does what I want, which is to help me feel immersed in that world. That word immersion, I think it's overused, but it really is my favorite thing about gaming in general, and very much so in VR. I got VR last year. PC VR specifically, absolutely love it. Absolutely love how very much in the world, I'm here. I'm really in this world as best as I can be with this technology at where it's at its state. I love that. And that game, man, oh boy, with the last update and the big wide open ice world and the horses and just everything about how they're handling it is really good. They also introduce updates slower than Blade and Sorcery, and they're certainly less involved in the community than Blade and Sorcery is, at least from the places that I frequent. They comment every once in a while on the Steam discussion forums, and not with much more than a sentence. So someone will ask a question, hey, is there ever going to be whatever? And then they'll be like, yes, and then that'll be it. But, they dropped a really cool update in, I think, October out of nowhere. Very recently, the developer has been commenting in the Steam discussion forums that another update is inbound. And they've also been they have in the past commented, and they've commented again, that daggers are coming, specifically in response to people asking about being able to stab in armor the way you can in this game. And that's not the way they're asking. They're just saying, I'd like to have a dagger. I'd like to be able to stab in between plates of armor. And the responses are just soon. So that has me hopeful. That game particularly has progression, even though it is an arena game. But it very much feels like, and especially I followed them much more closely than I followed this game, because that game at its core is more aligned to the stuff that I'm interested to, just in that presenting a very fully fleshed out immersive experience. Like if I'm standing in this room, if they made the same room in that game, I can all but guarantee it would feel more lively and alive and real and be lit really beautifully. And, you know, maybe graphics aren't the most important thing gameplay is, but even in that regard, these enemies versus the enemies in that game, I know people have their frustrations with things like skeletons and armored enemies, but I don't know. It really works better for me. It really is more fun from my perspective. But their oldest marketing materials, their oldest introduction to Hellsplit, seems like they shifted their focus, which happens with developers. Perhaps money and resources meant that they were going to have to start to draw an income before they could realize their full vision, or maybe they just redirected and they'll never see it. But it seemed at the beginning like they were looking to make a Dark Souls in VR. So maybe not a very directly open world, but that type of game. And man, does it really feel when you play that game like it is VR Dark Souls that is just missing the bosses. There are those, you know, those farmable, grindable enemies. There are enemies that are a little bit more equipped and a little harder to deal with, and they throw them at you in an arena setting. But man, that feels like I should just be progressing from space to space, you know, maybe through hallways or corridors or carefully designed open areas so that things are rendering when they need to and whatever limitations there are to VR. But boy, it feels like that's where they're going. If they ever do realize that, or if that's Hellsplit 2, I am all there for that. So let's see what we got, because I think we take this with us, whatever it is. I'm taking 2 potions because I am really nervous about dropping weapons. We'll find out really quickly if this is if I was dropping weapons because of the index controllers, or if weapons do stick in people's heads. But I got a short sword, which I like. I think there was another sword. I don't know if there's new weapons this time around. What is that? A riding sword. That seems new. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put that. Yeah, this looks new. I don't think I've seen this. I haven't played this in a few months. Certainly not this update. So we're taking a riding sword. We're taking just a general round shield and 2 potions. And I think I get to take these with me still. I just want to see if there's any new shields. No. There's a buckler, the same kite shield, and what the? All right. Yeah, so there's a couple of things that are still kind of bumming me out about this, particularly about how they're having you kind of move between spots in whatever you're doing. You know, I guess we can just get into it. But even with this, and like maybe this stuff is coming, or maybe it doesn't matter, or maybe I'm wanting too much. But like, I'm gonna select an area. We're gonna go to Greenland because that is the area that is new, that has the early access dungeons. I do believe there are no other areas that have. Yeah, looking for that word dungeons up there. Nothing. All right. Dungeons early access. Like, I'd like to select that and then walk out this door and hit that same loading screen. Just like, I don't know. I'm probably overthinking that at that point, but so we will travel. Yeah, I like all this, you know, you can sweep the enemy's legs, right? Like, there's a lot of thought in this stuff, but it's just like how the AI deals with you, just for me, leaves so much to be desired. Like, it seems like the most challenging interaction with enemies is that there'll be 2 or 3 of them, and like that's what ends up happening. I'm always dealing with between 2 and 3 enemies, and they just try to flank you, and you know, they do their like wide telegraphed hit, you step back, you stab. I also can't move as quickly with, oh wow. Already saw me, that's cool. So yeah, we'll see what happens now. They'll telegraph a huge hit. She's got a ton of armor, so this is gonna be the most challenging that this game can be. And I block, and I swing. Oh, I did drop my weapon. Interesting. I don't know where it went. Right. And she gets into my... She gets inside of my... But I should be able to get that leg. See, I do like this. I like she's got the right parts protected, and they're gonna protect themselves. How bad did I get hit? I can't see holding this weapon, I guess. And we're gonna focus on that leg, and I dropped my weapon again, and I don't know where it is again. Oh, there it is. Can I have it? That's funny. It hurts her. So, the last time I played this was a completely unarmored person, and I just kind of walked through this whole area without any kind of challenge. But these, for me, are always the most challenging. I don't really know anything about swordplay. I'm also not taking this as seriously as I possibly could. But, yeah, it's like, you know, things like this, like they slowly... She's not doing it yet. She'll kind of slowly match my arm movements, which is like, I don't know if that's how you would really handle holding a shield. But it just feels all very slow and telegraphed. That is so weird. Every time I make contact, I lose my weapon. And I'm using the Vive wands, which are click to hold, so I can't drop this. I can't drop it, but, you know, weird. Maybe I was squeezing it as I was... Yeah, maybe I was squeezing it. We'll see what happens. I didn't drop the shield, so that's good. I'm a little worried about dropping weapons, but I also would like to have a second weapon. So we will take some of this. There we go. All right. I'm not going to take this with me, because I'm going to take another weapon. And we will use... You got armor? No. All right. I think bludgeons are used as you would expect them to be used in this game. To hurt. What? Is that open? This is all different than it was. I just played this last night. Yeah, that's open. And that door was closed in there. This is all different. I don't know what happened. Maybe it updated. Maybe there's another update. But... Yeah. And he jumps to his death. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah. Alright, maybe, well, let's see. Maybe there's a new update that'll fix some of the problems that I was having even last night. You got armor on? I saw somebody in here. Oh, there you are. Oh, nice. You don't have anything. And I dropped my weapon, and I did not click it. I have my hands wide open this time. Okay, so what's probably happening here... Oh, that's awesome. So that's probably a new area. That's great. Alright. I am dealing with the fact that my face is getting very hot. I live in a somewhat smaller apartment in a city, and I have no choice but to do this in an area right next to a heater, which is just ideal. The computer's far from the heater, but I am not. You don't want to come in here? Okay, so yesterday this was closed. So I guess this is a new part of a new update. I think it updated this morning. It looked like it was in the queue. But one of the things that was bugging me was like this door was barred off. And it was barred off from the inside, which is like the universal sign for break that bar or lift that bar in any video game. And I couldn't do anything. All right, here we go. Let's try to actually fight him. Let's see what happens. Holy shit! Get off of me. He's sticking to me. All right, well now my sword is charged. How hurt did I get with that? Alright. He was strangely stuck to me. I'm fine. Didn't actually hurt. My sword's still charged, which is cool. So yesterday, this door was blocked with a bar on the inside, which feels like the universal symbol for lift this bar. but you couldn't lift it. And I was going outside and down to get into a dungeon. I wish you could run, like double tap to run. Maybe there is a way to run, but I don't know how. Do I wave my arms? Will that go faster? Yeah, and so I would go down here, but I was like, it'd be so cool if instead I lifted that bar and got through that way. Now there's a bunch. Oh wow, we saw the door be there for just a second. I don't know if that was noticeable in the screen, but there was a door like slightly rendered. So what I wanted is what looks like is happening now, which is you go through here, go through this door, and that's another way down. Yeah, it's just like the AI and the pathfinding, like just that is so non-immersive and disappointing. Like the little weird shuffle steps and the stop, and then watch. I'm gonna get up really close to another thing that's really annoying. There's a bunch of torches that are unlit out there, and I could not figure out how to light them. Hey, you. All right, let's see what she does. We'll let her come back up here, and we'll try to kill her that way. Actually, while she's here, if she hopefully doesn't care, I don't know what they're, I don't know. Do they just have a detection sphere? Like, is there any actual, yeah. Another thing that I hope they add to this game is the ability to collect anything, to find anything. Like, I'd like to find potions and like health potions or better weapons. And I don't have time for you. Okay, definitely dead. But like, I can't open anything, I can't look at anything. That's fine. This is still very early access, and this is their first foray into this dungeon system, which, you know, I'm gonna also say is absolutely beautiful. That's probably where I got in last time. It's so interesting, you can kind of like half see the doors. I guess that's the way they're dealing with rendering. But this, okay, thank you, yes. I was gonna say, he can't see me, and it's really kind of annoying. And there, I lose my weapon again. I have my fingers open. I have the wand strapped to me as well, so I can let them go completely. I'm letting it go. You can't see that, but that's what I'm doing. Do I want that buckler instead? I like bucklers, and this thing's kind of annoying. I'm gonna hold the buckler for a while. Because like this, I can use to deflect them, and I find that with the shield, they end up getting up on top of me and like underneath my shield. Can I hurt myself? No, good. Good to know. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. So this is the other side. Yeah, I was able to like literally walk. Oh boy, good boy. So this is as difficult as this game is gonna get. Nice. And again. Nice. Got me, huh? Well, hey, good on you. That's cool. That might be new behavior. Them getting out of the way quickly seems kind of new. I don't know if they were doing that before, but I definitely took a few hits. Actually, let's see how bad. Not good. This shit, too. How did this... Can I pick this up? I sure can. What's it say? Head? Did that say head? It does. Alright, well, let's go see if your friends want to learn about. Whatever. You are bad people. Use my bigger shield. Yeah, so I'm certainly not good at this game. But if I'm gonna die anyway, I'd rather die watching cool interactions with enemies.
What's this?
You dying.
On guard.
Maybe not. And we're stuck to each other. That's probably my fault spazzing out here, but whatever. Again, I'm not a great player. Yeah, so this last time I came through that way, which that's promising. I like seeing that. I like seeing that there's going to be multiple ways to get through, and things that seemed logical are logical. It'd be nice to be able to loot these guys. It'd be nice if anyone dropped potions. Wait, is there no way? Is that it? Do I now have to go that way? Yeah. Alright, whatever. That's fine. What do I got? I do have a bludgeon. We might trade up for an axe. I like having axes. I don't know if swinging my arms help. Is this like a Gorn type of thing? Is this going to make me run faster? Oh, it seems to do it. Oh, I don't know what it is. Come on. I don't think this is the right way to go. Ugh, my fucking weapon is gone again. And I'm sticking to the ground. Can I have it? So, I don't know if it is a gameplay mechanic that perhaps my weapons are sticking inside of people. But if that's the case, while that might look cool, that is not fun. Because ultimately what that means is because this game, because it's not real, well, that's unfortunate. How do I get out of here? Because this isn't real, I can't feel the, like I said before, I can't feel the resistance. I can't feel the weapon being pulled out of my hand. And so, all right. Am I missing something? Hopefully this isn't stupid to everybody else. I was pretty sure there was a way through here yesterday. I'm almost positive that I had to go this way, and I can't go that way. I can come around the entire thing, which is really going to be stupid if I have to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get up this jump, which I came down this way yesterday. Oh, I can. Nice. Alright, so I'll just walk through this whole thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. So that's kind of cool. Last time I had a very... I had options, and it seems like this way I don't have options. Now, if we end up... Dude, the weird way in which the body moves that I am not moving. Like the way you slide. And your legs up are kind of funny. I got into a spot where I had to... do some kind of climbing puzzle that just sucked. Really. Alright, well now I have a lot less health, but, you know, again, not exactly awesome at this. But like I said, if I'm gonna die, I want to die watching cool things happen, not because, like, we're sandwiched together and their noodle arms are stuck underneath me and, like, twisting in around me. Death from stabbing in the butt. Alright. This, I don't think I've been this way. Maybe I have. But yeah, I got stuck in some stupid climbing puzzle that just sucked. Okay, this is all definitely new to me. This is different for me. I hear a chicken, but I don't see a chicken. Oh, there's a chicken. I see a chest that is meaningless to me, unfortunately. And a guy spazzing out, but I'm not going to go over there. Let's see if I can throw something at him and get him... I don't want to aggro all of them at once. I don't have much. Shit. Okay, didn't want to aggro all of them at once, and I'm stuck inside of this. So much of this game is me dying because I'm stuck inside of things. Alright, let's get where they can't get behind me and lose my... again, it just pops out of my hand is wide open. So they can't flank me, but this is like all they do nice and slowly. And they'll take hits, but they get in too tight. And then you can't swing, and it's just kind of odd and awkward. I don't know. It just doesn't feel as smooth. I'm not going to let them in, especially because I don't have a weapon now. Ah! I don't have a weapon again. Yeah, so, I don't know. This game really doesn't do it for me. Again, this is all probably my fault. Ooh, do I have an option to... No. Thought I was going to have an option to change the settings. Oh, what a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. If I'm going to die, I don't want to die from, like, fumbling awkwardness. And even if that's my own fault, like, there are other games where I don't experience that at all. I don't experience getting noodle arms all twisted up with each other and them getting paper cut hits in on me because their daggers are sliding past our arms all intertwined with each other, and there's like flipping out and spazzing into circles and twisting up around their shoulders, and those count as hits. Or dropping my weapons over and over and over again for a reason that I don't really understand, or it isn't apparent to me, whether it's my controllers or whatever. I'm not really understanding the reason that happens. So, still going to stay interested in this game and pay attention to its progress. When they add progress, I will become... So again, too, like, how did my... Maybe, you know, if I watch this video back, I'll see that I did not properly cork the thing, but, like, how am I taking this out and it had stuff in it and the cork is just gone? Also, I wasn't able to see that. Like, that I can see from... Nah, yeah, I guess it was my fault. I'm certainly interested in progression, but not really interested in arena stuff and, you know, having one option, one chance for bringing health, and that's it. Especially for a game that, for me, just has so many awkward interactions that cause death. I was wondering if I kept my hat. I didn't. So, anyway, maybe I'll check in on this game at some other point.